Jameni, jameni, my fellow Kenyans, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? My fellow Kenyans, today, FKF cannot afford to buy 2 tickets, tiketi mbili, to bring Wanyama and Olunga to play for Harambee Stars. Yeah, the next week game against Egypt, Wakenya wezangu. Our first game for Africa Cup of Nations 2021 qualifier. Today, it is right there on the media. The FKF is begging the government to send 2 tickets, one for Wanyama, one for Olunga, because FKF cannot afford to send money for 2 tickets, Wakenya wenzangu. What I want to say to Wanyama and Olunga, they must stop immediately to play for Kenya. That is patriotic enough. Why? Because they have been playing for Kenya for some times now, and this situation does not get any better. So it will take people like Olunga and Wanyama to say enough is enough. We are fed up with our Kenyan football. We are fed up with our football federation. It does nothing to better players. It does nothing to better our Kenyan football. It does nothing to better our country. It does nothing to generate money for our country. We are having to use Mama Mboga's taxes. Mama Mboga anakatwa ushuru, and then it is being given to Football Kenya Federation, yeah, FKF. Why? When you know FKF has access to more people than Safaricom. FKF can make more money. Today, Safaricom is making over 250 billion Kenya shilling from us Kenyans, 50 million. Yet FKF cannot make enough money to send Wanyama and Olunga ticket to come home to play a fixture. My fellow Kenyans, remember, let us go back in a game we are Ethiopia, when we were playing for the AFCON qualifier. The FKF, well, they begged the government to give them money so they can do that fixture against Ethiopia. The money was given to FKF. It came to the Ghana game, the same story. It came to AFCON, the same story. 244 million Kenya shilling was given to AFCON. And you know what? When Ghana played at home at Kasarani, FKF could only raise 350,000 Kenya shilling from that international fixture. Laki tatu unusu. This amount of money is not even enough to buy 1 tuk-tuk. That is how things are bad. FKF cannot afford to buy 1 tuk-tuk, or to afford to get money to send Wanyama and Olunga to get their flight ticket. My fellow Kenyans, when are we going to say it's enough? Enough is enough. And I understand the reservation of the government of Kenya to keep giving money to FKF. FKF's story is going to end up being equivalent to that of Mumia Sugar, my fellow Kenyans. You know the story of Mumia Sugar Company and the amount of money that the government of Kenya has channeled. Now the final story, Mumia Sugar is under receivership. It has been taken by a bank in Kenya to restructure it to a Kenya wenzangu. That is where FKF is right now. But in the case of Football Federation, we don't want restructuring. We don't want FKF resuscitated. We want FKF out of Kenya. If FIFA loves FKF, wacha waichukue huko kwao. For us Kenyans, we know our football system is wrong. Our federation is wrong. We have been traveling facing the wrong direction for a very long time. I have said time and time again, our football has been in the wilderness for over 50 years. The time is coming very quickly. We must take actions, wa Kenya wenzangu. Now, Starlet hawana ticket za kwenda 2020 kucheza Olympic huko Japan. Despite that, government has just released the money for Starlets to play a game this weekend, yeah, at home. Now, the tickets for going to Japan to play in Olympic 2020, FKF is also asking that for the government. My question is this: the government has been channeling money to FKF for so many years. FIFA has been doing the same. Only last year, FIFA released another 100 million to better Kenyan women football in Kenya. Do we see any change in this women football? Do we see any change in youth football? Do we see any change in community football? Do we see any change in Harambee Stars wa Kenya wenzangu? I want to say this. The story of FKF is equivalent to Mumia Sugar Company. The sooner the government act, the better, my fellow Kenyans. Yesterday I saw that that interview, ile meeting ilikuwa huko parliament, football, sports committee, yale maswali walikiuliza Nick Mwendwa. Those questions revolved around the money and the Harambee Stars. Kenyan football is bigger than Harambee Stars. We keep ignoring where football is real, the grassroots. Harambee Stars cannot be equivalent to football in Kenya. Harambee Stars is only about 10% of the Kenyan football. Where is the 90%? Why are we not talking about it? The grassroots football, the women football, the amateur football, recreation football, youth football. Mpira wetu wa Kenya hautaleta pesa Kenya. Kenyan football is a business without clients. Look at the Kenya Premier League, vile nayo imeisha. Harambes inafanywa everywhere. AFC Leopards, Gor Mahia doing the same. Harambee day in day out. Mike Soko anaweka pesa hapo, wanaenda kucheza. Uhuru Kenyatta ana chip pesa hapo, ndio hizi klabu kama Gor Mahia na AFC Leopards na Kariobangi Sharks ziende kwa continental fixtures. But for how long? I want to ask the government of Kenya. I want to ask the politicians in Kenya. Lead Kenya to get out of FIFA if that is what it will take. Kenyan politicians were ready, to champion the path for Kenya to get out of ICC. ICC, the International Criminal Court. So why can we not champion the path to get out of FIFA? Because if FIFA become an impediment in what we want to do to fix our Kenyan football, we have no option. Kenyans have no option. The government of Kenya will have no option except to walk out of FIFA. And that is where we are heading, Wakenya wenzangu. I keep talking here. I keep sharing the vision for our Kenyan football. Now, the whole country can see what I have been talking about. The entire country can see what I have been talking about. We are going nowhere. Our Kenyan football has reached the dead end. FKF has reached cold sack. Mwisho wa safari, my fellow Kenyans. As you know, FKF manages a budget of about 1.2 billion Kenya shilling. Where does it go? I never see improvement of football in Kenya across the country. Right now, there are counties in Kenya that are saying they have never seen football. They don't play enough football. Right now, I have heard the president of FKF saying 3 counties in Kenya cannot vote during FKF election. Why? Because there is no enough teams in those counties. That is the work of FKF. This should not happen in today's today's life as we are. This should be done years ago. We have had football federation since independent. From I think we started by something like Football Kenya. No, there was Football Kenya Limited. Now we have FKF. Then we had another one, I think it's called KFF. Huko wakati wa independent. So 3 federations, they have done nothing. It is time now for Kenyan football to do what is right. Listen to Vision Total Football Kenya. So once and for all, we can usher in a new era for football. Let us have a new beginning. I keep saying what we have in Kenya is not football. It is called kicking about. It was done in the 17th century. FKF perhaps could have managed Kenyan football when Kenya only had a population of 5 million to 10 million. After that, FKF is not equipped to govern football in Kenya. Wakenya wenzangu, our national team was better years back than now. Wakenya wenzangu. Why? Because the talents were coming from the grassroots. If you think akina Henry Mutego, JJ Masiga, Mohamed Abbas, where were they coming from? Grassroots. But those areas have been ignored by FKF for so many years now because the money just concentrates, the money is just within the national office. Hapo, money goes nowhere. This is why I'm saying our Kenyan football must now usher in a new era for football. I tell you the truth. If FKF was in another country in Europe, it would have been disbanded years ago. But in Kenya, I think, and this is my guess, that so many people are scared of FIFA. They think, what will FIFA say? Let us ask ourselves a question. What are we benefiting from FIFA? FIFA is channeling money in FKF. Kenya is channeling money in FKF. What is the return in that investment? We cannot keep investing money where we get no return. I said before, Kenya is not because of money that our teams are not performing. It's because of the wrong football system, mismanagement, and corruption. We must usher in a new era for football. Think about 2015. Which country eliminated Kenya from the World Cup 2018? Cape Verde. Cape Verde is poor 43 times than Kenya. So how can we say it is about money? Kenya has enough money to sort football issues in Kenya. But if that is to be done, we cannot go ahead using FKF. FKF must go away. We must do away with FKF and start a proper football in our country. My fellow Kenyans, the last game, Mozambique against Kenya. Mozambique is 8 times poorer than Kenya, but Mozambique can beat us to hell. Tanzania eliminated us from CHAN. Yeah, Wakenya wenzangu, you know this. We are out of CHAN 2020. Why? Tanzania eliminated us on penalties. Yeah, they beat us 4 penalties. We only got 1 goal through. Yeah, they beat us on penalties, Wakenya wenzangu. Now, under 23 team that was trying to qualify for Olympic, we were eliminated by South Sudan. South Sudan, ile Al-Bashir. That team is enough to eliminate Kenya under 23. Wakenya wenzangu, we are dying. Our football is dead already. Now us, we must be patriotic enough. And I want to finish this video by saying, Wanyama and Olunga, say no. Say you are not going to play for Harambee Stars. At this point in time, be patriotic enough and say, our football is taking us nowhere. Playing for Harambee Stars, yeah, is only covering the situation. Come out, speak out, be counted. Our football in Kenya require real soldiers to liberate it. Football revolution is on the way, Wakenya wenzangu. And I'm so glad many Kenyans now, including politicians, including Uhuru, our president, including DP Ruto, everyone can see what I have been speaking about for the last 5 years. Now is our time. This is the time. It is now or never. We cannot have a federation that cannot afford to send 2 travel tickets to 2 players who are stranded abroad. My fellow Kenyans, I'm done. I live in peace. I'm gone.